Hello friends and foes. I've been meaning to tell you guys a story for a while, an interesting story. Finally, I found a friend, a Bengali guy, who seems to be speaking the truth wherever he goes, and he has the balls to speak up, say the right things. And he's gathered quite a momentum within the local community by doing so. Unlike all the eunuchs who actually come to Townless Badminton Club who can't say all the right things because they're so afraid that their friends might actually do something against them, etc. Anyway, so the story is, he goes to a friend of his in Dagenham, and on that night, quite a lot of people turned up to his house, his friend's house, which they didn't expect. Now, what happened was, they all came from the local mosque, and at that mosque, they just had an argument where people decided to call the police, yeah, etc. I'll tell you a lot more about that in a minute. So, what happened was, the committee, the guy who was in charge of the money, treasurer probably, he misused about £5,000–6,000 of the mosque's donated money. Now everybody knew about that, so to protect himself, he had his friends and family come along over the course of the year, and start getting involved with the committee. Come to the AGM time, everybody else is hoping that this guy would step down and allow for the mosque to move on and probably find a way of giving that money back. But of course, all his friends came along and they start interfering and they start saying all sorts of other things, and doesn't matter what they says, argument ensues, and the other guys decided that they're going to call the police. Argument continued, and everybody said, right, look, let's talk about this, blah, blah, and that's how they ended up to the house. So, my friend, who I won't name just yet, although I'm pretty sure he won't mind being named, he tried to tell them, look, what's happened has happened. You guys call the police, or the guys who went to call the police, you guys call the police will come, investigate, they'll look into all of this, and it's going to be an embarrassment for every one of you. And it'll probably become a lengthy situation, probably ruin the mosque. And he told the other guy, well, look, it's clear that you've actually taken the money, but what needs to happen is you just step down, and when there's any kind of investigation, everybody gets together and say, look, he had the money and he lost it. Okay, what else could he say? So he tried to explain it to them. I can understand my friend's reasoning. He's obviously trying to explain to them that you don't try and destroy something, try and find a way. But do you know what the unfortunate thing is? And I'm sure a lot of you would have heard these kind of stories before. The unfortunate thing is that within the Bengali community, guys, people just hide these simple things. The simple things that when you bring it out into the open, when people know about these problems, they are no longer problems. Now, what happened at Townless Badminton Club? Do you not see a similarity there? Over the course of 8–10 years, these guys, Babul Haq, he was our big brother. Everybody trusted him to actually do all the right things. He was our chairman. And his brother and whoever else was involved, over the course of years, when people were telling me that these guys are getting funding here and there, I had another guy who I won't name just yet, but he was telling me all along for years, these guys are getting money. He used to work for the council, by the way, so he knew what was happening, and I just didn't believe him because of he had other mental issues. But he was telling us. He was telling me in particular, these guys are bringing money. You guys don't know about it. So I just thought, nah, this guy's not telling us the truth, because everything else did not fit in. However, this Babul Haq and whoever else, they're very clever. They know how to play people. They would say, no, re bhai, amra mishamati na. Translated in English, no, we don't lie too much. We don't have a habit of lying in such a nice way, polite way that you think, no, my big brother, he couldn't do that. So, the situation is clear that years ago when they started bringing in money to the account, they were able to use it without anybody questioning. They started bringing in all their friends and anybody else who was associated with them into the committee. Now, Babul Haq and Abedin, they were close friends, and they still are. Now, all these other guys, a lot of them who have actually come into the committee are close friends and relatives of Abedin or Babul Haq. Now it's clear that these guys were bringing in friends to help them out on the long run. And what happened now? You know, they managed to manipulate all the idiots out there. You know, people like Shamim, they managed to give him what he wanted. He just wanted his games, and they knew that. And the other guys, all the other guys using the club, they just wanted to play in the place. They don't care about how the place is being obtained and any kind of obligations that we have to meet. They don't care about that. They just wanted to play their games. You know, towards the very end when I started talking about all of this, a prominent guy, you know, I could not believe that he was able to tell me that what you are doing now is going to ruin the club. Yet he told me so long, for so long, that what these guys were doing were wrong. They needed to be transparent, and he could not bring himself. He came to the AGM. He could not bring himself to say to these guys, "Look, you need to be transparent." Ex-councillor, by the way, you need to be transparent and change the ways and do it the right way. And this is the very guy who tries to teach me religion, by the way. So there's a story. There's a lot more that I can say around all of that, and I will do. But hope you enjoy that.